welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz
Review.
Okay,
There's a bit of a clue there.
So today we are doing another Doctor Who video,
If you hadn't guessed.
and we are looking at Doctor Who: The Collection Season 20 Limited Edition box set.
Okay, so this is with the 6th Doctor.
Peter Davison, the 5th Doctor.
5th Doctor.
Yes, the 5th Doctor. You know,
Yeah, he would be.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. See, look, he's down there. He's got
well,
a big face on the front of the cover of the box.
Yeah, all right. 5th Doctor. Gotcha. Okay, I can make a cock. It's a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah. So this season was basically produced with the idea of celebrating 20 years of Doctor Who, which culminated in the anniversary special of the 5 Doctors. So, are you familiar with any of the stories in this season?
Yeah, well, that's probably why I got him wrong initially, because being probably more of a classic Who fan than the modern Who fan, if that's what they call it these days. They call
New
it
Who and Classic Who.
Okay, I kind of started to, again, pardon the pun, peter off when Tom Baker switched over. Even towards the end of Tom Baker, you know, he had too many companions.
Yeah.
And they were all very annoying. Not all of them very annoying, but it was just too many.
Are you talking about Adric again?
Yeah,
He's talking about Adric
poor old
again.
Adric. Yes. Anyway, no, there was just too many things happening,
Yeah.
and then you had was it the Watcher?
The Watcher. What do you mean?
When
Oh yeah,
Tom Baker fell off
Legopolis. Yes.
and it was like, I didn't like that kind of
No?
game. It was like,
No?
It was just
Okay.
annoying. And then didn't he have a few issues with the regeneration at the beginning? Where
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was like,
But that's the season before this.
right, okay.
This is Peter Davison's second season.
Okay. But anyway, so by this time,
Yeah.
I'd started watching him, but it probably faded out a little bit. So
Okie dokie.
I'm kind of probably familiar with bits and pieces of
Bits and pieces. Okay. So, first up in the box, we have Arc of Infinity. Are you familiar with that story?
Not ringing any bells.
No, that's basically when Omega came back.
Okay,
And
no.
the 5th Doctor went to Gallifrey.
I would have missed that one then.
No.
I'm going to have to watch it.
Snake Dance.
Is that when Tegan gets possessed by the Mara?
That is the sequel to Kinder, which is where Tegan gets possessed by Mara.
In that case, Kinder, I remember. That one, no.
Mordrin Undead. First appearance of Turlo, and it's
hang on
when
a
the
second.
Brigadier comes back.
Hang on a second. Isn't he at a boys' school?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting memories of that
And
one.
the Brigadier is a maths teacher.
At the boys' school.
Yes.
Right.
Originally,
And isn't the Black Guardian got something to do with it?
he does.
Okay. Yeah.
Originally, it was going to be Ian from the original series.
Was the teacher?
Yes.
Okay.
But unfortunately, due to conflicts, he couldn't do it, so they got the Brigadier in instead.
Okay. So I'm remembered
With
one.
with three down.
Next.
Terminus. This is probably the most obscure and
No,
least
doesn't ring a
remembered
bell.
one.
Any plot there?
Plot: they have to go to the centre of the universe and they find a space station with a plague on it.
No,
And there's a big goat man. There's a big goat man
Don't reckon. Don't.
called the Garm.
No, I don't recall that. I mean, there's been a lot of space stations in Doctor Who that have
True, that is very true.
that had viruses or things on them, or people thinking they're viruses. Go the Cybermats and stuff. Anyway,
Enlightenment.
nope.
So that is actually a space race between yachts that look like yachts in space.
Okay.
And that is the final one in the Guardian trilogy. It's
Okay.
alright, it's alright actually.
I mainly remember the Black Guardian being in the Key to Time.
Yeah, this was kind of his return
Right.
for the 3 stories.
Well, I do remember him with Turlo,
Yeah.
and then I probably just faded out on it. What year?
What year?
It's got to be in early 80s.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Sorry, it's the 20th anniversary of Doctor Who. So, okay, let's work this out. 20th anniversary of Doctor Who.
It's the 60s.
63, 73, 83.
There you go. Early
Boom.
80s. Boom. There
Ha.
we go.
Right, then it goes on to the King's Demons.
Okay.
A very short 2-parter episode featuring the Master in the medieval
The
setting.
Master. Right, so this would be the Master for Nissa's father.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or he kind of possessed his body, didn't he?
The notable thing about this story is the first appearance and one of only 2 appearances of Chameleon.
Yeah, I know Chameleon. The sort
Who
of
is Chameleon?
It's the android that can change. Well, is it an android? It's probably more of a robot because
Yeah.
actually, in its normal state, it doesn't look like a human being, apart from being obviously a bipedal. and yeah, I kind of remember that. It was multicolored. It's sort of like very rainbow coloured, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he changed.
Wasn't he meant to have been? Because he's surely still in the TARDIS, isn't he? I heard.
Yeah, there was.
Weren't they talking about having him as a companion?
Okay, so he makes 2 official appearances, and he does appear in a short scene in The Awakening, but that was eventually cut out of the finished article, so he only appears in the 2 transmitted stories.
Right. Okay.
In The Planet of Fire, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with, he does bite the dust.
Oh, he bites the dust. Okay, so no return for Chameleon. But I do remember seeing bits of that. So.
And then we have the finale, the crown jewel to this season.
I know where you're going with this.
And that is the 5 Doctors.
Now, the 5 Doctors, very cool.
It's amazing.
I do remember, because it was the 5 Doctors,
Yeah.
because it was the return of Doctors, because it was like, wasn't that the first one where they'd done that?
No.
They'd done it before?
Yeah.
So that would have been, which one were they done before that?
3 Doctors.
3 Doctors, okay, and which series was that in?
That was in season 10.
Okay, with?
John Pertwee.
Right, okay.
Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell. But he was stuck in a time
yeah, he was stuck in that. Was it like a triangle or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Anyway, yeah, this at the time, I would have gone straight back because I remember seeing it when it was aired, and I was like well chuffed with it to be able to see. I always loved the Time Lords. You know, the Time Lords and the whole mystique of the Time Lords and Rassilon, and the fact that before Rassilon, with the 5 Doctors, because they're dumped in the death zone, aren't they?
The death zone.
And the Time Lords were taking people out of time and making them fight in these games. But the whole thing with the Time Lords is, at that point in Doctor Who, they were godlike.
Yeah.
You know, but godlike thousands of years ago. Yeah.
Maybe millions.
Millions of years. Yeah, they were gods. And Rassilon came along. He put stop to the games. But Rassilon himself is like this amazingly amazing Time Lord person.
Yeah.
And they destroyed that in New Who. Sorry, but they could completely destroy it.
Don't taint this video with the New Who.
No. So sorry, guys. If you like New Who, fine. But they destroyed.
Well, we're talking specifically about the Jodie Whittaker seasons.
Yeah. No knocking Jodie Whittaker as
it was
actor.
the writing.
It was the writing. But this really does. This story shows like the Time Lords at their power.
And what better way to celebrate the 60th anniversary this year by bringing out the 20th anniversary story on the 40th anniversary of its release?
Yeah, and we've watched it
on Blu-ray.
And it's got some superb tweaked special effects in there.
The 40th anniversary edition of the 5 Doctors is a real treat that is exclusive to this box that I would highly recommend.
I've got to say, I really enjoyed it. They put subtle special effects in there.
Sometimes with these, the effects do stand out like a sore thumb, and you can kind of...
No, they blended it really well.
But in this one...
I don't want to give too much away.
This one's amazing.
You know,
especially on the Eye of Orion at the beginning. That was really good. I thought they really blended that really well.
And also, I love the way that they did the actual time scoop itself. Because when they were taking the doctors and companions from different places, you know, it kind of like... Oh, it's just great.
Originally in the transmitted version, it was kind of like a triangle, wasn't it?
Flipping around.
Yeah, and then in this one, it was kind of like a 3-dimensional monolith that kind of scooped them up off the ground.
Like a black crystal, really. Wasn't
it? And it actually left an imprint.
Well, I wasn't
going to
say that. Yeah, they'd actually put an imprint. So when it landed on the grass, it left the imprint.
That's really cool.
But it looked really good.
Yeah,
you know, it looked like so I can't recommend this one enough. The 5 Doctors was super. I'm going to have to obviously go back and watch some of these I haven't seen.
So, I think we should open it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so, we're going for the J card. Have a J card.
A J card. Why is it called a J card?
Because if you turn it sideways, it looks like a J.
That'll be that way for the camera. Yeah, really? It kind of looks more like a 6. Sorry.
There is no pleasing
or a musical note, but whatever.
Box art. We have this funky picture on the front. Thankfully this time he doesn't have six fingers.
Oh, don't start with the 6 fingers. Don't start with the 6 fingers.
On the back we have the Black Guardian. He looks really cool.
We do.
It's really a shame because with the J cards on, you can't see the backs, and I kind of store them with the J cards still on them, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, but at least
you know it's there. You know it's there. That's the point. Look at that. Boats from Enlightenment.
Oh, yes.
Literally, they go through space in a big race.
Doesn't ring a bell at all.
No, we'll have to watch it. We'll have to watch the Black Guardian trilogy.
Are you going to open this then?
I am going to open it. Ooh.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Wow. Okay. Here we are. Oh, no,
I'm getting told off again. Has it got? Oh, it's got a little Velcro catch.
Yeah, Velcro catch. You can open it up.
What do we have?
Inside, we have a massive booklet and a massive pamphlet.
Oh, look, it's the Doctor's. It's the TARDIS's console room.
What's so cool about that, right? If you stand that up, you can literally, if I get one of these Doctors here, you can put the figures in
the
it.
TARDIS.
They're so cool.
Going back to the B&M box sets that we were doing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know, this is a good interior diorama.
Yeah.
Whereas
And it's only exclusive to these limited edition things, but
That's
really,
cool.
really appreciate them.
That's really cool. Right.
So, let's move on to the discs.
Okay, so I'll just close that briefly. You're always telling me off, is that?
Because you're doing it wrong.
There you go.
Oh,
No, you did it wrong.
Shh, shh. Everything is
go.
fine.
They're done. Done.
Okay, I need to look at these to be able to tell you about them. I'll show pictures.
I won't touch anything.
Okay, disc 1, Arc of Infinity.
Okay.
Disc 2, Snake Dance.
Turn them to the camera. There you go. That's even better.
Oh, there you go.
Look, Turlo.
Disc 3,
Upside down Turlo.
Mordred Undead. Disc 4, if I can grab it. Terminus.
I kind of recognise that. What's that character there then?
He's one of the guards. I've only seen it once.
I mean, you know, early 80s. I may well have seen some of these things. It's just not. I need to watch them. You know?
Disc 5, Enlightenment. Disc 6, King's Demons.
Yeah, that's obviously what's it called? The android thingy robot.
Disc 7, The Five Doctors, the original transmitted version.
Aha.
Disc 8, the 40th anniversary edition of The Five Doctors.
What's the difference between the two?
Updated special effects again.
Right, so it's actually like you've got one with updated special effects and then the latest one with even better.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes. And then we have the Five Doctors special edition, which is the first one that came out. Anywho.
Actually, catching a quick glimpse of Chameleon there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking of a different android in my head when I said multi.
Oh, is that the one from the Visitation? You said Rainbow.
Yeah, it's a very colourful one, but now I've seen him, I do recognise him. Okay.
I love these sets. They're really cool. And to be honest, look. There's so many special features included that are new, but then what you have to consider is at the bottom it says that all the documentaries, featurettes, commentaries, and info and everything that was included on the DVDs is also included. So it's got all that special features, and then it says, by the way, we're including all the special features including on the DVDs as well.
Wow.
Just look at it. Just look at it. I believe that everything has updated special effects except...
Oh, hang on, is that the big creature?
That's the Garn. That's the Garn.
That's the Garn. I've seen him in a museum, Doctor Who museum somewhere.
That's cool. Everything except the King's Demons has some kind of updates to it. I believe audio quality and updated special effects, which is amazing. I did not expect to see that on everything. But to be honest, you can't really update that much on the King's Demons because the only real special effect is the chameleon changing from robot into human. So, how much did I pay for it? That is the question.
I don't know how much these retail for these days. I'm going to expect it. It's got so much in it. Lovely presentation box. I'm going to guess 45 quid.
So,
45 pounds.
When these originally came out, they became so hard to acquire on the earlier sets. And unfortunately, I was late to the game, so I did have to fork out some money for them. But...
Did you not want to buy this direct then?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I pre-ordered this one.
Okay.
So, skipping all the way forwards, now they're bringing out the standard editions of all the other ones. So, the price of the limited edition ones is going down fairly dramatically. I pre-ordered this. This came out mid-September. I paid the grand sum of £49.99.
That was a fiver out.
Yeah, it's interesting because they did start out around that £40 mark and they've slowly increased over the years.
For £50 though, I mean, let's face it, that's 4 Blu-rays.
Yeah.
If you're paying on average about £12 for a Blu-ray.
But it's 9 discs, an entire season of classic Doctor Who. We are not talking 1-2-parters here. We are talking a 4-parter, a 4-parter, a 4-parter, a 4-parter, a 4-parter, a 2-parter, and then the 20th anniversary.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's a steal. Even for the 5 Doctors alone, I would probably have gone, ooh, I want some of this.
Yeah, and talking about the 5 Doctors, we saw it.
We did.
Should we have a quick review of that?
Well, we were talking about it earlier, and I do believe, I'm confident to say it's probably the definitive version now. I'm happy with it as it is. I don't really want them to do anything else with it.
Because there was a couple of little clippets in there that, like with Tom Baker and Romana.
Yeah, that was...
they'd added or
That was
changed.
The one difference. When Tom Baker, obviously from Sharda, gets time scooped. The shot where he gets time scooped, I remember being him just as he loses his punt, and he kind of stumbles backwards just as they go under a bridge.
Yep.
But in this one, he loses the punt, and then they get time scooped in the middle of the river.
Yeah, so that's interesting to see the difference.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that. I'm not quite sure why they chose that, but it was an interesting change.
I think it was a really good story, and it stands the test of time. A couple of the things I thought was fun about it is that they'd improved a lot on the Raston. Is it Raston Warrior?
Raston Warrior Robot. When he's going.
Yeah, that. And when I originally saw that as a back in the early '80s, I know it would have been very hard for them to do because he's meant to move so fast, and it was kind of very ballerina-like, and it didn't. It actually kind
its armaments are built in.
Yeah, it kind of detracted from it at the time when I watched it, but actually it looked better now reviewing it. Although the interesting thing is that thing is meant to be the ultimate warrior robot.
Yeah.
But in the story, they say they don't let the Daleks or the Cybermen play the game because they're too good.
Right. I see what you're saying.
But surely that was the...
Well,
it shouldn't be in it.
You say that, but the Doctor seems to say that about an awful lot of things in his travels. Yeah. If you remember the Scovox Blitzer from New Who...
Oh, yes.
He said, oh, yes, this is one of the most dangerous things in the universe.
Yeah.
And I'm like... Is it though?
Is it? I thought the Raston Warrior
Robot. The Raston Warrior Robot is always going to have my votes. I love it.
Yeah, that was kind of like crab-like, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's the fact that the Raston Warrior Robot, it's all built in.
Built in, but he reloads. Because in the cave system...
Physical. It's all physical weapons. It's not energy weapons. It's a spear that's going to fire.
In the cave system, he's got extra spears.
Yeah. He's got throwing discs, knives. I
don't know how the spears are meant to fit up his arms, though.
He's a robot.
The spears in the cave look longer than his forearms. There you go.
I love the Raston Warrior Robot.
Yes.
Anyway, would you say that the 5 Doctors is a good introduction to Classic Who for people that are new to Classic Who or want to get into it? Because it is very much one of the first ones that I actually saw of Classic Who.
Yeah.
I think I saw Genesis as well, and maybe Earthshock before this. But this was one of my original 3 DVDs that I got.
I think for somebody who is sort of au fait with Doctor Who, then, yeah, I think it probably would be good. But if you're not really very familiar with Classic Who at all, it could be a bit of an overload. I mean, if you don't know any of the backstory and the lore and where they all fit in, it could be a bit confusing, but...
To be fair, all things considered, I think it is really an easy watch, to be honest. I can watch it any day of the week.
But I suppose it's again, when they did, was it the 50th? When did what did they do? What was the one where they had Jodie Whittaker in it and we had Peter Davison came back and things?
Oh, Jodie Whittaker and Peter Davison. That was The Power of the Doctor.
Power of the Doctor, okay. And that was celebrating what? That was just
the end of Jodie Whittaker.
That was just an end, right, okay. So... when they did that, I remember a lot of people, friends of ours, were watching it and saying it was really good because they were enjoying seeing the little nods to the past. And
they were
character
fairly
things.
infrequent.
But I think that's the thing. If you are a Classic Who fan and you've watched Classic Who prior to Peter Davison's era, then... that's when you watch the 5 Doctors and there's things in it like the Yetis and such like the little nods that you can then pick up on that maybe somebody else wouldn't pick up on if they're not familiar with it.
Going to the Yeti, until recently, that's probably going to be the only thing you're going to have been able to have seen the Yeti in was the Five Doctors. It was only in the last 10 years or so that the Web of Fear came out with the missing episode 3 as well. But that had to be animated, and there was a telesnap reconstruction as well. And then we obviously got the fully animated version of the Abominable Snowmen, and they were the 2 appearances of the Yeti until this one.
But the Yeti we see in here, spoilers, it's an original Yeti, isn't it?
It's very dark.
The second Yetis were kind of updated Yetis, weren't
Yeah, they kind of had the big white eyes, but I don't remember this one having the white eyes. I think it might have been some kind of like cross between the 2.
It was the hands.
Yeah, you didn't see the eyes. It was very much this big, hairy haggis thing.
Good old Yeti.
I love it. And that noise, that gut-wrenching...
Yes,
Was that good?
Yeah, it was kind of a bit Yoda-like, but not bad. I can't do it. You do it.
No, okay.
Anyway, so 5 Doctors in this one with special effects. Wow.
This set was definitely worth it in my opinion.
It has the wow factor.
I am slowly collecting the rest of them, and I do have more if you'd like to see reviews on them.
Yeah.
But obviously, as we go along, they are going to release more, and hopefully, in the not too distant future, maybe in a year, 2 years or something, we'll actually have the original complete lineup of classic Doctor Who, which will be really cool.
You've persuaded me to revisit this because I need to see some of these ones you've told me about that sound absolutely bonkers.
Yeah?
You know, especially the sailing ships in space.
Enlightenment.
I know in David Tennant's we had the Titanic.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a bit odd.
It's from what I recall, it's a pretty kind of out there concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty out there.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Because kind of like, the thing like this, you'd kind of expect it to have, maybe ship-like things, but with solar sails and that. But what you just showed me on that picture was literally sailing ships
in space.
In space, which is odd because there's no up or down in space, so
And they're racing against each other, so it's like groups of ships and things.
Groups of ships. You could have one upside down and one right way up, but it wouldn't be because it's in space because there's no upside down. Spaceships, like they always meet. They always come out of warp drive the right way up, if you know what I mean. When they meet each other,
yeah,
it's like,
that is true.
Why isn't it upside down? But it's not upside down.
Let's attack from above. Let's attack like vertically down that way.
Yeah, but it's not really above, is it? Because it's space.
True. There is no up or down. What is space?
The other spaceship could actually be the wrong way up.
Oh.
Anyway, a conversation for another day.
Okay. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.
Rest on Warrior Robot.
It's armaments are built in.
Look, it's moved so fast.
No.
It's moved so fast you can't see it. It's over here now. Oh, no, it's there. Whee. Anyway, see you again. Bye for now. Always the Cyberman.